For centuries, empires were built and the entire world map was redrawn just to control the trade of a single, small, wrinkled black berry found in India. This spice was once so valuable that it was used as currency to pay rent and taxes. Imagine standing in the center of a narrow, sun-drenched alleyway in Old Delhi. The air here is thick, not just with heat, but with a golden, dusty haze that seems to vibrate with energy. Before you even open your eyes, your nose tells you exactly where you are. It is a symphony that hits you all at once. Not sounds, but scents. The deep, smoky punch of roasting cumin, the sharp, citrusy sting of coriander, and the warm, sweet embrace of cinnamon bark. It's an invisible fog that tastes like history. You are surrounded by sacks of burlap overflowing with mountains of powders in every color imaginable. The shocking vibrancy of red chili, the earthy glow of turmeric, and the dark mystery of cloves. This is not just a marketplace. It is the beating heart of a civilization. Here, food is not merely fuel for the body. It is a language, a medicine, an offering to the divine, and a history book written in flavors rather than ink. When we speak of Indian cuisine, we often use the word curry. But as we step deeper into this culture today, we will discover that this word is just a tiny window into a vast mansion. We are about to embark on a sensory voyage through a land where every pinch of powder tells a story of trade winds, ancient rituals, and the warmth of a mother's kitchen. We are diving into the alchemy of spices. Welcome to Culture Journey. Today, we are traveling to the subcontinent of India, a land of staggering diversity that stretches from the frozen peaks of the Himalayas to the tropical backwaters of Kerala. While India is home to hundreds of languages and thousands of distinct traditions, there is one invisible thread that binds this massive tapestry together: the mastery of spice. For the people of India, spices are the soul of the home. They define the rhythm of the day, from the ginger-infused chai that wakes the senses at dawn to the warm milk spiced with turmeric and cardamom that soothes the body before sleep. But the story of Indian spices is also the story of the world. It is a narrative of connection, where ingredients from the Americas, like the chili pepper, met the ancient techniques of the Indus Valley to create the cuisine we recognize today. This is not just about heat or burning tongues. It is about balance. It is about an ancient wisdom known as Ayurveda, which taught that food is the primary source of healing. As we walk through this journey together, we invite you to open your mind to the idea that a meal is a spiritual act, a communion between the earth and the human spirit. To truly understand the bowl of curry sitting on a modern table, we must look back thousands of years. There was a time when spices were the primary driver of the global economy, more precious than gold or gemstones. The history of exploration is, in many ways, the history of the world's hunger for Indian flavors. It was the quest for black pepper, often called black gold, that launched 1,000 ships. The Romans, the Arabs, and later the European powers all set their sails toward the Malabar coast of India. They were chasing the pipali, long pepper, and the round peppercorns that could preserve meat and break the monotony of a bland diet in an era before refrigeration. But let's debunk a common myth. Spices weren't used to mask rotten meat. They were far too expensive for that. Instead, they were the ultimate status symbol, used to elevate fresh ingredients into a feast fit for royalty. Beyond preservation, these spices were the hallmark of elite dining. For a wealthy noble in medieval Europe, serving a dish heavy with pepper and cloves was the ultimate display of power. However, the exchange went both ways. One of the most surprising facts about Indian cuisine is that the chili pepper, the ingredient we now consider the very definition of Indian heat, is not native to India at all. It was brought by Portuguese traders from the New World only about 500 years ago. Before that, the heat in Indian food came almost exclusively from black pepper and ginger. The Indian cooks, with their genius for adaptation, took this foreign ingredient and mastered it, growing hundreds of varieties that now define regional palates. Did you know that India produces over 70% of the world's spices? It is often called the spice bowl of the world for a reason. If you look at your own kitchen shelf right now, chances are the journey of those jars began in the soil of the subcontinent. As we travel deeper into the culture, we must address a common misunderstanding. In India, You will rarely hear someone say they are cooking curry in the generic sense that the West uses the word. The word curry is essentially a British anglicization of the Tamil word curry, simply meaning a sauce or relish for rice. What the world calls curry is actually a complex universe of distinct dishes, each defined by a unique masala. Masala simply means a blend of spices. But this is where the magic happens. A masala is not just a random mixture. It is a chemical equation balanced by generations of grandmothers. In the north of India, where the climate is cooler and wheat grows in golden fields, the spice blends tend to be warming and aromatic. Here you find garam masala, literally meaning hot spice blend. But hot doesn't mean it burns your tongue like a chili. It refers to a glowing warmth that spreads through your body, raising your metabolism. Think of it as an edible sweater for the soul during the cold winters of the north. It usually contains cloves, cinnamon, cardamom, and black pepper. These are toasted to release their essential oils and then ground into a fragrant powder that smells like autumn and comfort. Travel with us to the tropical south, and the palate shifts entirely. The air is humid, and coconut trees sway along the coastlines. Here, the masala changes. It becomes a wet masala, pastes made from grinding fresh coconut, green chilies, and curry leaves, an herb that looks like a bay leaf but smells of citrus and roasted nuts. The spices here are often tempered with mustard seeds that pop and crackle in hot oil, releasing a nutty aroma that signals the start of a meal. If you were standing in an Indian kitchen right now, watching the chef toss mustard seeds into hot ghee, the sound would be like a sudden burst of applause. What is the one spice smell that instantly reminds you of home or comfort? For an Indian family, the spice box, often a round stainless steel container called a masala daba, is not just a culinary tool, it is a pharmacy. This connection comes from Ayurveda, the ancient Indian science of life, which categorizes food based on how it affects the body's energy. Let's look at turmeric, or haldi. Today, the Western world hails it as a superfood, selling it in expensive capsules and lattes. But in India, turmeric has been the guardian of health for 4,000 years. It is an antiseptic and an anti-inflammatory. If a child falls and scrapes their knee, a grandmother immediately applies a paste of turmeric. If a bride is preparing for her wedding, she is covered in a turmeric paste to make her skin glow and protect her from infection before the big day. It is a symbol of purity and prosperity, the color of the sun itself. Then there is cumin, which aids digestion, and asafoetida, a pungent resin that smells strong when raw, but transforms into a savory, onion-like flavor that prevents bloating. Every meal is designed to balance the 6 tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent, and astringent. When a meal has all 6, it is believed to leave the eater completely satisfied, curbing cravings and nourishing the soul. It is fascinating to think that for centuries, people didn't need to run to a pharmacy for a minor ache or a cold. The cure was right there, in the dinner ingredients. Have you ever used a specific food or tea to feel better when you were sick? We cannot speak of Indian food without stepping out onto the street. The energy of India is found on its sidewalks, where the aroma of charcoal smoke mixes with the scent of frying dough. Here we find the tandoor, a cylindrical clay oven that dates back to the Bronze Age. The fire burns at the bottom, reaching incredibly high temperatures. Bakers slap refined dough against the vertical walls of the oven, defying gravity. Within seconds, the dough bubbles and chars, transforming into naan or roti. The smoky flavor imparted by the clay is something that no modern electric oven can replicate. It is the taste of the earth itself. But perhaps the most beloved category of Indian food is chaat. The word literally means to lick, as in licking your fingers or licking the plate because the food is so delicious. Chaat is the ultimate sensory explosion. It usually involves something crispy, something soft, something cool, and the crucial duo of chutneys, the dark, sweet tamarind chutney and the bright, spicy green mint coriander chutney. When you eat chaat, you are experiencing the full spectrum of the Indian palate in a single bite. It is chaotic, colorful, and messy in the most beautiful way. It demands that you eat with your hands, connecting your sense of touch directly to the experience of nourishment. In Indian culture, eating with hands is considered vital. It is said that the fingertips have nerve endings that signal the stomach that food is coming, preparing the digestion before you even take a bite. This practice once surprised travelers from around the world who were used to forks and knives. But many who try it say that food actually tastes better when you can feel its texture and temperature before it touches your tongue. Would you be brave enough to ditch the silverware and eat a curry with your hands? As the Indian diaspora has spread across the globe, the culture of spice has traveled with them, evolving and adapting. In the United Kingdom, chicken tikka masala is considered a national dish, a hybrid born of Indian technique and British desire for gravy. In the Caribbean, curry adapted to local ingredients like allspice and Scotch bonnet peppers. In South Africa, bunny chow, curry served inside a hollowed-out loaf of bread, became a worker's staple. Yet, despite this globalization, the core remains unchanged back home. In the bustling city of Mumbai, a miracle of logistics takes place every day involving the dabawalas. These are delivery men who collect hot lunches packed in tiffin carriers by wives and mothers in the suburbs and deliver them to office workers in the city center with near-perfect accuracy. In a city driven by stock markets and smartphones, they rely on something more reliable: a system of colors, painted symbols, and human trust. They don't just deliver food, they deliver a tangible piece of home to a chaotic office. What are they delivering? They are delivering the specific, unique spice blend of a specific family. Because even though everyone uses the same ingredients, turmeric, chili, cumin, no two hands mix them exactly the same way. One family might like a hint of fennel, another might prefer more black pepper. The spice blend is a fingerprint of the family's identity. Today, modern Indian chefs are taking these ancient flavors and deconstructing them, creating avant-garde dishes that look like French pastry but taste like a Delhi street stall. But the reverence for the source, the spice farmer, the sun-drying process, the stone grinder remains. The culture understands that without the spice, the food is just matter. With the spice, it becomes energy. As our journey through the clouds of cardamom and the rivers of turmeric comes to a close, we are left with a profound appreciation for the complexity of Indian culture. We have seen that a simple yellow powder is actually a healer of wounds. We have learned that a black peppercorn was once a king's ransom. We have understood that curry is not a single flavor, but 1,000 different songs sung by 1,000 different regions. Food in India is the great equalizer. In the Sikh temples, the langars serve free meals to thousands of people every day, regardless of caste, religion, or gender. Everyone sits on the floor together, eating the same lentils and bread. It is a powerful reminder that hunger is universal, and the comfort of a warm, spiced meal is a human right. The culture of spices teaches us that life, like a good dish, requires balance. We need the heat of the chili to make us feel alive, the bitterness of fenugreek to ground us, and the sweetness of jaggery to bring us joy. Every culture is a mirror of the human soul, and the journey to understand it may never truly end. But in India, that journey is always delicious. If you enjoyed today's journey into the vibrant world of Indian spices, we would love to hear from you. Have you ever tried cooking an authentic Indian dish at home? Or perhaps you have a favorite spice that you cannot live without. Please like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below about what touched you most. Your stories help our community grow. The world is vast, and our exploration is just beginning. To ensure you don't miss our next departure, simply stay connected with Culture Journey. Let's continue to uncover the history hidden in everyday things. Until then, keep your curiosity open and your life flavorful. Goodbye.